Okay, thank you everyone for tuning into this session. This is day 2 of Hacktoberfest with Aviyel, and today is the first ever episode, and we are joined by Muthu. He's an content creator, he's an expert technical writer, and we have lots of stuff to cover in this particular session. So before we deep dive into that bit, let's discuss in a briefly manner about what is Hacktoberfest and Hacktoberfest with Aviyel and what we are planning to do. So Hacktoberfest is you probably know about that. So it's a month-long celebration of an open source project. So you can either contribute to the code bit or the non-code bit. So on the code, you can contribute to the project by creating your own feature. You can add some plugins. You can do some good first issue and contribute some basic stuff as well. But on the non-code bit, you can contribute towards the you can document, you can update the document, you can fix the typo of that documentation, and not only that, you can create an API references from that. And the main important bit is you can create a content out of it and advocate that particular project by creating a video, audio, the podcast, or you can create a content like an actual technique, article from it. So Hacktoberfest with Aviyel, we are mainly focusing on that bit. So we are advocating that particular open source project, and we are helping it by creating and writing an article, creating a content out of it. So in this Hacktoberfest with Aviyel, we are mainly focusing towards content creation, non-code contribution in general. So thank you everyone for tuning into this session. We have a bunch of stuff to cover, but before we do that, let's quickly dive into what we are planning to do it in this entire month. So I'll quickly share my screen. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, so week 1, we did an opening ceremony with INSA. So it was a blast event. We talked about open source, DevRel, and whole bunch of other stuff. We even talk about content creation, technical writing, and open source in general, and plus the Hacktoberfest related to Hacktoberfest. So if you missed out on the event, you can probably check it on our YouTube channel. So it's recorded, so everything is recorded, so you can't even miss a bit. So today we are joined by Muthu. So he's an expert content creator, technical writer. So we'll be discussing more about that in a bit. So on tomorrow on October 5th, we have Uncle Big Bay, and on October 6th we have Kartike Rawat. On October 7th we have Pradumna, and on week 2, which is which starts from October 10th, we are joined by Harshvardhan, and on October 11th we have Tapas and Yuri and Disimeta, and on week 3 we are joined by Tapas again. So week 3 starts from October 17th, and on October 19th we have Jan Sismol, and on that very day we are joined by Amit Sabesakshi, and on October 21st we are joined by Emil Pierce. So this event will be a month-long event. So each week is based on a different theme. So week 1 we'll be talking about decoding open source. We'll be talking about bit of content creation. We'll be talking about technical writing and software development in general. And on week 2, we'll be talking about mainly focusing towards content creation, technical writing, mainly focusing towards content creation and technical writing. So week 2, if you want to become an expert content creator, and if you want to build your brand, then week 2 you must attend, and week 1 you also must attend. On week 3, it's a project centric. Week 3 and week 4 is a project centric. So we have React Play, Metacode, Test Sigma, and Novu. So if you want to learn about that particular project in very depth, you can join the session. Each event we have different. The creator and the maintainer themselves are joining us on that particular session. So don't miss out that event. We'll be talking with Jan Sisma. He's an creator of Tolzi, and we will be talking about Tapas. He is also a creator and maintainer of React Play. And on October 19th, we have Amit Sabisakshi. He's also a contributor of Test Sigma. And October 21st, we'll be talking about the Novu Emil Pierce from Novu. So we have bunch of stuff covered. So today we are joined by Muthu. So we'll be talking about lots of stuff. How he started his content creation journey, technical writing journey. So before we go any further, can you introduce yourself, Muthu, to our audience?
Sure. Am I audible?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, folks, for joining in today. My name is Muthu Annamalai. I'm just pursuing my final year of undergraduation at PEC Chennai. I'm a technical content writer basically from 2021 May. I just started writing after a lot of procrastination. Like in everybody's life, there would be a lot of procrastination, right? So that I had a lot of self-doubts in me, like whether I am just suitable for it, or if I write this content, would there somebody read it? I had a lot of self-doubts, but I just kept that aside on May 2021. I just had the thought of writing an article on March 2020 when COVID got hit, but 1 year went into procrastination. So that I just put out my first content on May 2021, and then it has been a surreal ride, I would say, because a lot of people have read my content, and then I've got a lot of networking opportunities. I've been to meetups where people just recognize me because of my content. Like he's Muthu, he writes blogs, so that it gives a kind of a social presence, right? So that we all just crave for that, right? If a person who doesn't know you just comes closer to you and say you are the best in this, so that it gives a wonderful feeling to us. So that I've just been experiencing it for the past 5 to 6 months, but it has all been due to the work had put in the past 1 year. But many people who just come to me want to reap the benefits out of it, but they are not ready to spend the amount of time to it. So that what I would suppose is that lay the brick every day instead of just doing it part by part, or just doing it when you think, but just do it every day, so that it will just reap you benefits in a way in which you cannot imagine to. So this is my short introduction. Like, thank you for joining into this session. I hope you learn something from it and go. Thank you for having me, Aviyel, here. It's a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, definitely, it's a pleasure to have you. You have a very good experience in content writing, and very awesome stuff you do on Hashnode and various other platforms. So yeah, how would you describe your content creation journey so far?
In simple words, a roller coaster ride. It has a lot of ups and downs. I have not always been at my top. That's what I would say. Because when I just started out, there has not been a mentor to me, like to say that this is the path ahead of you. You just need to take this path to reach to success. There was nobody to me. So that I was the only person who was just figuring out stuff. Like I will just take a road A and then see if it works for me. Else I will just go to road B. Else I will just go to road C. So that a lot of my first initial few days went into those exploration itself. So that I just call it blessing in disguise. So that because I get to experience a lot of things in those periods of time. Because when I just started putting out content, I do not know where to market it. Like what I'm trying to say is here, I am just posting the content on my blog, like how it can reach the people out. So if I just simply just post it, folks would not come and read it, right? Then I just wanted to figure out a way to market my content to the audience ahead. So that what I thought was, finding out ways. One such way was Discord communities. Like in March 2020, like when everything came to an end, we were just connected to everyone through virtually. So that I just discovered a few wonderful communities, so that I just started posting my blogs there. And then through word of mouth, my blogging journey went ahead. And then to be honest, I was just first approached by Aviyel, and then Aviyel was the first one to recognize me as a content writer, and then they just gave me the job as you need to do freelance for us. So that they were the first people who just came and then reached out to me. Till now, I just remember that email which just caught my eyes. We are just awestruck by your work. So that was the subject line of the email which I got. That when I just think about it right now too, it feels very surreal, because when you're just starting it out, you just need that initial push, right? So if you get that initial push in your journey ahead, you can just easily sail through. Like my initial push was just given by Aviyel, so that I just got to work with a lot of beautiful open source projects which were associated with Aviyel at that time, 1 year back, like MobSF, Chatwood, etc. And then at the starting stages, I do not also know how to format an article. The people here in Aviyel just taught me how to do it. They were not thinking like that. He's a content writer, he needs to know everything. They just taught me everything, like the basics of it or how to do it. They were just support of my journey, because I just came as a little, what they would call a little small stone, but they sculpted it to a beautiful God stature here, because I just wanted to put it out here, because every person in their journey needs some sort of help, because they are not king of everything, right? Because when I just started out writing, I do not know about how the editing process works, but the folks in Aviyel just got me through in a Google Meet, and then explained me how they do it, so that when I just put my food into their food, I just came to know that, okay, in these places, if I correct it out, I can help them in their journey too, because they just review a lot of articles, right? I don't want to be an headache to them. So that my journey, I would just this is all about my journey. And then after Aviyel, a lot of brands just started reaching out to me, tutorials point, and then my journey is still going. I'm just starting it out. Within 1 year, when I just think, like, if I just go back to that time machine and think on May 5 again, when I just started it out, I would not have been thought that I would be in this situation, like giving webinars about technical writing. Because when I just started out, I'm just an introvert, to be supposed, because I'm not a person who just speaks a lot. I just keep everything into me, and then I do not know ways to express it out. But a plus point of this technical writing is that I got to meet a lot of people, and then got to network with a lot of people, so that I became a selective introvert. So what they would call, when in places I want to be introvert, I be an introvert, because I don't want to mingle with folks who just want to pull me down. So that in those places, I'm an introvert. But when I just come out of it and then hang out with like-minded folks like you, I'm an extrovert. So this is my journey till now.
That isn't really amazing. I still remember your article, your MobileServe article, related to security, and it was really amazing. I mean, you basically boost yourself, and yeah, that's it. So that's the advice that you want to give, right? So push yourself till you become the best. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about your journey. So that's the motivation, right? I'm a bit curious about your journey in tech. So what are some of the common mistakes that you made in your journey, and how did you bounce back from it?
This is a really interesting question, because many people just make the mistake. I will just list it out. The first mistake I did was learning as many programming languages. Like, I would just start with Java, then go for 15 days, I find it tough. I go to C++. Then I move to C. Then I move to Python. So that this is one of the mistakes like everyone did. So I also did that mistake, but I just figured it out that you cannot become the master of all. So that I just focus myself to Python. So that the only this is the mistake I did, because having to learn every programming language and then remembering every syntax of it is pretty tedious to have. So that I just realized that as a in my sophomore year. At first year, I was just very curious. So I what they would call, I explored myself and then went into every programming languages in this world. So that don't do it, folks. I just wanted to let you know it, because it's very tiring and it makes you burn out, because you are not doing it for continuous days. You would have a lot of self-doubts, because you are just doing Java for 20 days, and then if you go to lead code and then practice problems there, you would not be able to do it at all. So just focus on one language and then become a master of it. The next thing, which mistake I did, was I self-doubted myself a lot. Like, would I be able to do coding? Like, what I did for writing, same applied for coding too. Like, do I have any skills for it? So that I just self-doubted myself a lot. So that there are a lot of times in night I used to think like, am I a coder? So thoughts like that would just write my mind off, and then at night I would not be able to figure out a solution to. But what I would do it here is that instead of thinking it, use the time to upskill yourself. Like, if you do it in a great way, these doubts would not hamper your minds at all. When you are just not confident of yourself, then who the hell would be confident on you? You have to be 100% confident in your skill so that you can market it. If you're not confident, the other person on the next side would not be convinced at all. You need to make them 100% convinced, so that don't self-doubt you at all. The third mistake which I want to point out here is start writing the code without a plan. Like, I do not know the entire structure of the website, but I just start writing it. What would happen is that we could not be covering all the edge cases or something like that. So that start with a plan. Like, this is first, this is second. So prioritize yourself the task which you want to do before you start writing the code, because this is pretty important. Because when you just start writing for the sake of writing, you can just keep on writing it. But when you have a plan, you can easily help it through. For example, I will just give it like, if my client wants to write an article about JavaScript, what I would do is that I will just start with the intro. Then I will just go into the body. Then I will just give some real life examples. Then I will just go to the conclusion. So I have a definite plan so that I can just easily go through it. But without having any plan, I just go directly into conclusion. What would happen? It would become a failure, right? So this is my third mistake I made. And then the next one is thinking I know everything. So that this was the main mistake which I made in my journey, which I think you should not do. Because I just thought I am the king of the jungle. I knew everything. Nobody could not do what I do. So that this is the major mistake many folks make. I also made that mistake, but this is very brutal in your early stages of your career. This would lead to head weight, arrogance, or something like that, because you are not a king of everything. There would be some person who is just higher than you in every field. Like, what I say to what I experienced is a person who's just less my age too can teach me a lot of things, because age is not equal to experience. Like, what they go through is what experience, so that you can just get to know by speaking with them. That is why I love these community meetups and networking kind of activities. I just get on with everyone and then try to learn from them, because every person has a unique kind of journey which I did not have. So whatever mistakes they made, I can just correct it out before making them itself. So these are the 4 mistakes I just wanted to point it out, and these are 4 fatal mistakes. I just pray to you folks, you don't make this, because I made these and I suffered a lot. I just don't want you to suffer too.
Thank you for that input. And yeah, To be honest, yeah, imposter syndrome is kind of common in every field. So you need to, yeah, overcome that. You need to, I mean, you push yourself, to be honest, uh, and learn more from the community. I mean, learn from the experience once, and try to build it. I mean, try to lay your brick yourself and try to be the best. So yeah, one question again. So how did uh, technical writing help you in your coding journey?
Hmm. Uh, this is a pretty good question because technical writing opened doors for me for in many places. Like I just got to understand what happens. Like if I perform this, I just put words into action so that whenever I just start writing the code, I just think about it like that. Like how would I write it out? I will just visualize it so that it becomes a lot of easier in the thinking process. So that technical writing means putting the words, making complex subjects easier, right? So that whenever I just start writing the code, as I am into technical writing, I just wanted to break the code into more readable and efficient code so that it can be read by the developers who are just following me, because I'm not going to be in that organization for the longer time. Let's be practical. If I wanted a change, I need to move on, right? So that I need to write a code which is just reusable, and then many things like that. These technical writing aspect gave me that what I would say plus one point in that. I learned to write reusable code, understandable code, the code which would be very uh, easy for a beginner to understand, because I am just researching a lot for my articles, right? If I could not understand what I am writing in my article, how the other person knows? So that I just apply the same concept in writing my code too. So, for example, if it is very tedious for me itself to understand it within a second, how the other person would just do it. And then another reason which helped me in which technical writing helped me is documentation part. Like for every product, we need a documentation for it, right? Because without documentation, the users would not know how to use our product. So that whenever I just I just interned at few startups, so that whenever they just told me to write documentation, I just get a lot of what they would call a lot of joy, because I love it. So that in these ways, technical writing helped me, because instead of just helping around only in coding, I can write documentation for them. I can write blogs for them. I can create content for them. So that these are the extra ways which push me through other than coding, which technical writing gave me.
So technical writing, you need to do I mean, to master the technical writing, you need to be able to research more. So technical, I mean, content creation is 80% of you must spend it on the research
Research,
bit alone.
yes.
20%
Writing.
exactly you need to work on it. Yeah. So yeah, one question again. So could you tell me a bit more about challenges that you have faced in your journey and how you overcome them?
The challenges which I faced while writing blogs is that a few friends of mine itself backstabbed me a lot. To be honest here, because when I just started out writing, uh, I would just share my articles. Like we're just human beings, right? We are just carving for the views initially and likes, comments, etc. So that I just shared with few of my friends, but what I received was a huge shock. Like everybody backstabbed me, like by saying that you copied it from here, you copied it from there, so that I received a lot of backslashes. But at that time, it had a huge negative impact on me. Like it took me some sort of 2 to 3 days to process it itself, because he has been with me for the past 2 years or 3 years, I would say. But he itself is not understanding me. Like who the hell would understand me a lot? So that hit me hard. But what I thought was is that one quote just reminded me that time. Like when you grow in life, the people who backstab you grow a lot. So that when you cannot achieve their heights, you're just trying to pull them to your heights. So that this is one of the major things which I just experienced it, but I just overcame it through. But if I did not overcome it, the situation would not be that good, because I might not be here speaking with you itself, because I did not have the confidence at that time, and I did not broke that up. I could not travel this much time, like writing for Scalar, writing for Tutorials Point, and then doing such stuff. If I had just broken down at that point, I'm saying, if I had just broken it up, I would have been totally shattered, and then this Muthu would not be have at all. Would not be happened at all. He still would be an introvert. He would not have become a man extrovert at all. So that what I say is that take constructive criticism. Do not take everything that everyone says into your mind and just think about it. Take constructive criticism from them. Like you are not perfect in everything, so that there might be critics, but they should criticize you in a good way that helps you in your journey, not that they pull you down up. So that just be practical and then think whether their solution suits you or not. If it suits, okay, just implement it. If it doesn't, just leave them off and then cut them off in life, because we have a lot of things to focus on instead of focusing on them, because our life is short, right? We need to focus on only more important stuff other than these non-important stuff. So that this is the major challenge I faced. The next thing was, I do not know how to structure an article at the beginning. Like, I'm just new to this field, right? So that I do not know whether what should come first, what should come second. So that was my second problem. I just overcame it through by reading some of the articles from the community. So that community has shaped me a lot. So that only whenever community folks just approach me for a session, I'm just hands down and then doing it, because they just help me in my process, in my journey. So there might be a Muthu who is just listening in the crowd, who needs some sort of guidance to start in technical writing. If I can be that mentor to him and then guide him in his journey, I just done justice to my part, because I have helped a person. I can go to sleep peacefully. Like, I just helped a person. He's just starting out in his journey. It's quite great, right? When you just help people in the community, you do not know, you are not expecting some sort of returns from them. You would still feel great. Like, I think I tell everyone I see, do not help others thinking you would get something in return. You should do it on your own, so that any help you do, I'm just saying it here, it would just come back to you. But it would not come back to you again at that instant of time itself. If I do a help for you, you will do for me at some other time, which I do not think you of it also. For example, I'm in a needy situation, and then I just reach out to you. I have just helped you out in the future. Helped you out in the past, and then I have not expected any returns. You would be happier to help me here, right? So that we should not think helping as a two-way policy. Just do it once. It would come back to you in some other forms, but don't do it in the sense of asking help.
That's a strong point. Yeah. A community and pushing yourself and getting out of your comfort zone, that's an awesome statement. So yeah, one question again, one final question. So any advice or actionable, any advice that you can give? So let's say I'm a newbie, so any advice that you can give me to start my content creation journey, and how can I start my technical writing journey? Any advice that you can give me?
Sure. First thing, I would just say this: focus on fundamentals, like researching part, like what you said. 80% of writing is just researching. So that be an expert in researching first. Like how to get what you want from internet is a skill to have. Like how to solve an error in coding is how to get an answer to solve an error in coding is an art. How to Google is an art. So that just master it. Learn the fundamentals. Like if I just put this keyword, like what I would get it. So that learn the fundamentals, keyword researching, like how to structure an article. These are just basics of writing. Like how do you want to pace it out? Because you just want your article to be in a single tense. Like You should not go to past, come back to future, then go back to present again. Like you should just maintain it, whether it is present or past or future, in one tense itself, so that you just learn these kind of how to structure a sentence, how to create an article, how to structure an article, how to Google. So this would be this is the first step. The next step which I want to give is that take help. Like there are many pros out there in the community, out there in Twitter, out there in LinkedIn. You can just DM them. If you are feared to DM, just ask it out in public by tagging them. Many folks help you out, because it's all a process of sharing, right? And then don't forget to share it in socials. This is a pretty important point which I just want to come here, because I have heard folks saying that sharing is, we are just what they would call, we are just publicizing ourselves. Like many people don't understand the essence of it. Like what I would want to quote here is, you have to share your content. I always say folks this: if you are 100% at your craft, opportunities come towards you. But if you're not, you should go towards it by sharing it on socials. But many people just say that it is a kind of self-promotion. I don't want to do it. Opportunities would come my way. But friend, I'm just saying it as a fact. Opportunities would be coming if you are 100 to 200% skilled at it. But if you're just starting it out, if you're just 50% in it, opportunities never come your way. You have to go for it. You have to post for it. So that just start posting on socials. Just avoid any negative comments. Like it's not even worthy enough to give your concentration into it, because you are just going to achieve a lot of things in life. This comment, when you just go back and read it back after 1 year, you would itself laugh at it. So that just don't give your more thing into it. Just start sharing it on all your socials, like be it Twitter, be it LinkedIn, because opportunities can come anywhere, right? I just want to quote here a simple opportunity. There is a person called Marco Denick on Twitter. I suppose you know him. He just texted me and then told to include his blog in my blog, a link of his blog. So this is the power of sharing, right? If I did not have an account on Twitter, how come Denick come and approach me? So this is a classic example I just want to give you there. Put it out on the internet. You do not know who reads it. It might be Bill Gates reading it. It might be the next CEO of Google reads it, and then he just calls you, because internet is vast, people. So that you just don't know who reads your content. So that just start posting it. And then one thing which major people face in content writing is that at starting journey, they will not get many views. So that people who just come for views leaves writing and then goes off. But don't be like that. If you want to get reward, you need to put your hard work for at least 5 to 6 months for the SEO to work, because Google doesn't know who you are when you're just starting it out. But when you're doing it consistently, Google thinks, okay, there is a guy called Muthu. He just publishes blogs every week or every day. So that I just want to start promoting him. So that the efforts you put just will start coming out only after a considerable amount of time. So that what I want to say is that at starting stages, don't look at your blog dashboard or analytics at all. Leave it. Just start posting alone. After 3 months, 4 months, you just have a look. It will just gradually increase. So that this is what I had to say. And then learn to take breaks. So that this is also a very important thing, because if you just over pressurize yourself and then get burned out, you are not going to do it for the next 3 months or 4 months. So that learn to take breaks, and then listen to your body at all times. Body would give you signs at all times, man. But we have to just respect it and then take breaks. Otherwise, we just start breaking out, and then the consequences are fatal. So that these are my tips for the new ones who is just starting it out technical writing.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. I mean, you have to do lots of research. You need to learn about lots of stuff. You need to engage in community. You need to publish your article on various social media account. I mean, to give your article of more visibility. And yeah, you need to push yourself, to be honest. And yeah, one final question before we jump into Q&A. So let's say if you have one topic in your mind, how do you start writing on that topic? So how do you proceed on that particular topic? So is there any?
Okay.
guide for that?
Uh,
So let's say you have a very simple topic. So how do you proceed writing on that particular topic? So is there any
First,
guide?
what I would do is that I will just research more about it if I do not know about it. If I knew about it, I will just start writing it out. But if I do not know about it, I will just start researching. Like what you said, 80% is research, right? I will just research about it, and then, for example, if it is how to walk, first I will just uh, think about me in that situation, and then I will just starting it out like if he is a child or if he is a man or if he is an adult. Like I just want to identify who is my target audience, like who I am writing for. Like my target audience are adults, but I am just writing for babies means it doesn't make sense at all. So that what I first thing is that I do is find my target audience, like who reads my blog. So that for example, if you take my blog is read by developers, so that I can use developer terms in it. But if it's just n- read by non-developers, I could not use those jargon words there. So that first thing is that I will just think about my target audience. The next is that I will just think about the voice of my article, like whether it should be formal or it should be like a brief guide, or it should be a listicle kind of thing, like listing out these repositories or something like that, because this is Hacktoberfest, right? Many people write 10 best repositories to contribute for Hacktoberfest. So that I just think about that. Next, I just want to get into action. I will just start writing it out. If I just get stuck, I will go and research again, and then this process uh, goes on loop again. So if I could not figure out researching, I just try and go to reach out to a subject matter expert. Like if you are an expert in Python, I do not hesitate in asking you what is this, because if I do not know, I need to figure it out by myself, right? So that I will just ask you out that. Then I will just put those in my words and start writing again. So that this process goes on loop forever, and then after I complete, I just submit it. After that, if any changes, this process goes on loop again.
Exactly. So yeah, so what we learned in this session is that so try not to jumble active and passive voice, and I mean past and future tense on the article. Try to be very concise and try to get straight to the point of what you are planning to describe on particular topic. And write a, I mean, you can just start it now. I mean, the best way to do, the best way to get started is right now. So yeah, these are the stuff that we learned today, and it was a very insightful session from Muthu.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us today. And before we end the session, we have few more questions lined up on our Q&A. So one question is from Adam. Uh, he says that what channel do you share your work on? Twitter, LinkedIn, and how do you share it?
Okay. I share it on every platform. Like I share it on Twitter, I share it on LinkedIn. On Twitter, I will just start posting links like new article alert, and then I will just give a what they would call uh, a three-liner introduction. Like, do you want to learn this? Do check out my blog, and then I just post it out. On LinkedIn, I do not have that character limit, so that I just get deep into it. On Twitter, I have the 250 character limit, so that I just give a 3 sentences about my article. On LinkedIn, what I do is that I will just give a brief intro, like we are just going to look about it, and then what are the problems, and then share it out. So I use every platforms, because I do not focus on any one platform to be precise. I focus on both the platforms and then share it like that. And then if you do it on the longer run, you get approached by brands instead of you going for it. Because I do not recommend applying an internship or something like that, because that doesn't look good. So show your proof of work, folks would just come reaching out to you.
Exactly. So I hope that answered your question, Adam. So there is one next question from Adam himself. So how do you get freelance writing gigs?
This is what I just
This is
told.
the question.
You just want to show a proof of work to the internet. The internet will do the magic for you. This is my short and crisp answer to it. Just start posting your work on the internet. Internet will do the magic for you. Just start posting your content. Like for example, if you're a technical writer, optimize your LinkedIn profile to it. Like because I cannot say I am a technical writer by posting content about education, right? I need to optimize my profile to a technical writer. Like in my headline, that should be a technical writer. In my about, I just have to have a technical writer where I just post it. Everything should be there. You have to optimize everything. Then the opportunities start flowing in, and then word of mouth too is a pretty good option. Like if you like my work, you will just share it with the next person. Like word of mouth and then social media would do the magic for you. But for that, you need to considerably share for a longer amount of time. It doesn't reach you. Like I said in the starting of the session, nothing comes easier. You have to build it brick by brick so that uh, everything just happens. But what I want to say you is that don't lose hope. You would get it, but you would be getting it some 3 to 4 months after it. But if you just stop working in the first month, you would not be getting in that fourth month. So think about it and then start sharing in the internet. The opportunities would come for you.
Yeah, exactly. So give your content some visibility by sharing it on various social media platforms, especially on LinkedIn plus Twitter, and try to use some hashtags as well. There are a few hashtags related, I mean, hashtags related to your content, so that it can get some visibility and you can win some gigs. Yeah. So yeah, next question is from Ikra Fidos. So, which tool do you use to write articles?
Which tool which I post, or I just post the articles on which website, or which tools means for writing purpose?
Hope he meant about grammar tools, any hack
Okay.
tools. Yeah, so some any
What tools
tools
which I
like
use to write?
Quillbot writing article. Yeah.
Okay. I just write it down on a Google Docs and check it with Grammarly. My tool is simple. I just write it down on a Google Doc, and for grammar, I just use Grammarly. And then Hemingway editor, you can use it. Like Hemingway editor for getting it. I just cross check it Grammarly and Hemingway editor. And then for the blog's cover page, I use Canva. Basically, Grammarly does everything for you. Like
Yeah.
it's just
Mhm.
gives you what I would call a full set of tools for you to check for grammar, and then your job is just and then I use Grammarly plagiarism checker too, so that everything comes under Grammarly for me. Grammarly, Google Docs, and then Canva is my blogging tool set. And then
Oh, that
I
is awesome.
post my
So,
articles on Hashnote. I also prefer you to post on Hashnote because it has a great amount of community support, and then it is the only platform which just allows you to blog on your own domain without any hassles. You just want to connect it. Everything they would take care of. You do not want to maintain it. I do not see any other blogging platforms like that, because if you want to build a blog on your own, you just have to maintain it by doing a lot of process. But Hashnote does all for you. You need to do only blogging, so that that is their USP. So that if you're just starting out blogging, I just 100% is recommend Hashnote. But do not post only on Hashnote. Post it on Hashnote and cross post it on every other blogging platforms, because every platform has its own set of developers. Like the person who reads on Hashnote would not read it on Dev.to. The person who reads it on Dev.to would not read on Medium. So don't underestimate that, and then just start posting only on Hashnote. Start posting on Hashnote as your main blog, and use canonical URL to post it on other blogs like Dev.to and Medium.
exactly. So I use Hemingway frequently because it's an awesome tool. Hemingway and Grammarly is also my day-to-day. I mean, I use it on the
Deadly
daily
combination.
basis. Yeah, it's an awesome tool to get started on your writing journey, to be honest. Yeah, so it was a very, very awesome session with you, Muthu. So it was great connecting with you, and it was fun talking about technical content creation. I mean, content creation in general. So yeah, thank you for joining us. So we finally
Thank you,
we
folks, for
are at
joining
the
in,
end of
and
the
then
session.
thank
Yeah.
you, Aviyel, for giving me an opportunity to showcase what I am at, so that I'm feeling really blessed because I just started here and then I'm just giving a session 1 year right now. It just feels amazing. Thank you for having me here, Aviyel. It feels wonderful to have a talk and then connect with all the folks here. Thank you once again. It was a wonderful session.
Yes, thank you for you to join us on this event and making this event even more brighter, making this Hacktoberfest even more brighter. And thank you for teaching us to the audience. So yeah, so but before we go, I would like to quickly discuss about the Hacktoberfest, about the stuff that we have planned. So yesterday I mean, we have provided you some topics to write on our, which is available on our Discord channel. I hope you have learned some valuable lesson from Muthu about technical content creation. Now you can start working on those topics. You can learn about the stuff. You can research on it, and you can. We'll provide you the typeform link or the submission link by tomorrow, so you can submit your article link on that particular um, form. So yeah, thank you everyone.
I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
If you had any doubts, feel free to DM me. I am here to help you out. So that if you had anything, you just DM me. You can just type my name on Twitter or LinkedIn. You will be getting my ID. So that if you have any thing which you want to get clarified on, or you want help, you are free to contact me. I will just help you out.
And yeah, you can connect with him, and if you have any queries, you can DM on our Hacktoberfest with Aviyel channel. So join our Discord server and join that particular channel, and we have lots of mentor lined up in this entire event, and we have lots of speaker coming up. We have event same time tomorrow with Uncle Big Bay. He's an expert content creator. He's currently at working as community success manager at Hashnode, which Muthu has already said about Hashnode. So come join us tomorrow with Uncle Big Bay. And day after tomorrow, we have Kartik Rawat. And on October 7th, we have Praduna Saurav. Same time. So thank you, Muthu, for joining us and giving some insights about technical content creation and whole bunch of other stuff. So thank you, and thank you for every participants and audience for tuning in till the end of this session. And yeah, thank you. Hope you have a great night and happy Dasera and happy happy. I mean, yeah. Thank you everyone for tuning in. So bye.